Hi everyone and welcome to Jab and Move with your host Stephen, and today we're going to be reacting to the fight of the weekend, which was Fabio Wardley knocking out Joseph Parker. Well, technical knockout. Joseph Parker in the 11th round on Saturday night and the repercussions of that. And a bit about the fight as well, because I have some interesting thoughts there. So let's dive into it, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the comments as well below. But I kind of went off the way I thought it was going to initially. I think Wardley was going to put the size and kind of his unorthodox brute strength onto Parker, and I think that was what we seen initially. They were both kind of feeling each other out, and I think they both kind of struggled with each other at the start, and I didn't expect anything different really. But what took place in the later rounds was what I expected, which was for Parker to control the pace, start taking the centre of the ring, the technical ability of Parker and the better boxing ability of Parker really started to come to the fore and really start to pick Wardley off as we went along, and the consistent smaller damages and stuff. But I have to give Wardley credit. He stuck in there and he does this time and time again. And one time's like, a one-off, a couple of times maybe it's a bit of a freak. But at this point, it just seems to be his MO. He looks like he's losing the fight. He's being outboxed. He's being outscored, but then he'll come up with some sublime haymaker out of nowhere, or a punch from the gods was against Justice Uni, to then decide it. Now, with this one, there's more contention, and I do think there's a couple of areas that I want to talk about I think should have happened, that I think if Parker would have done something, he would have got the win in the end, and I think Wardley got a bit lucky in terms of the actual victory in the end. But it happened that way, and I think that's something we expected. I didn't expect Wardley to start as well as he did at the first few rounds. I think first two, I had him winning 2 out of the first 3 rounds, and I think he really put it on to Parker. But again, I didn't expect Parker to start as slowly. I thought he would be the one that would be the main antagonist in the fight and really take it to him in the early rounds and continue that pressure throughout. Now, obviously, it didn't happen that way, but for the later rounds, he did. We have to go on about it. We have to say the stoppage for me was premature. I didn't think Parker was out of it, but then I can see why the referee did what he did. Parker, for all the experience, for all the boxing now, especially with the gum shield and stuff, which I thought was tactical, which was amazing, just for all his ability in the ring, I don't get why he didn't grapple him. I didn't get why he didn't just grab hold of him and just hold on to him. If he was struggling, if he had to get through that round and lose a round, but then get to round 12 and tie it whatever and get the victory on points, just grab the guy. You know what I mean? You might get the referee going, don't do that again, don't do this. Just get him on your arm. Do whatever you have to do to stop him continually throwing punches, because whether or not they hit, and a lot of them didn't, it looked like he was on the ropes. It looked like he was going to get caught at some point with something really bad. Even though he may not have been, he might have just been trying to tire him out for him to counter it. But what are you doing? I did not expect that, and that is the only part of the fight I can criticise Parker about. He rid the wave at the start. He performed really well throughout, and in that bit, I didn't see it coming. I thought he was going to grab him. I thought he was going to stop him. I didn't think at that stage, unlike other fighters, that Wardley was going to get that knockout blow, or just come up with something out of nothing really. But then Wardley, on the other hand, what an absolute chin from him. He took blow after blow, and there was quite a few very clean shots from Parker that Wardley just ate. And almost like it stood him up even more, and he came forward even more. So definitely had sort of Terminator vibes on him on that one. But you got to give him credit. Wardley's won. And I think they should have a rematch because of the way it was done. I don't think they will. I think now Wardley will be eyeing Usyk, which we'll get onto in a minute. But they should have a rematch because it's contentious. Parker was winning the fight, and I don't think it should have been stopped. I don't think there was any consideration that he was in that much danger at that point. But then Parker should have grabbed hold of him and grappled him and kept hold of him at some point. He should have just threw his body forward to get hold of him. He shouldn't have let him go that long where he was throwing punches. Well, I didn't think really Wardley was doing too much damage at that moment in time. But let me know your thoughts on that one, guys. Now let's get into the sort of repercussions of all this. A rematch I think should happen. I don't think it will. Parker will fight someone big again. I think maybe Dubois or something would be a really good shout for Parker, because he'll still be up there with the best. Wardley's got his shot, let's be honest. He's probably got his shot now against Usyk, and it's a great story. I absolutely can't, diminish it in any way. I like Wardley. I think both him and Parker are gentlemen, and the way they are and the way they act. I like the way they are as boxers and men. promoting fights. Obviously, don't know him outside personally, but as them aspects, I like it. But I'm going to be honest here, he ain't got a shot against Usyk. It's a puncher's chance. Now, obviously, with Wardley, a puncher's chance is more than most people. But we've seen this before. Everyone said this about Dubois. Everyone said this about Joshua. Everyone said this about Fury. Wardley isn't going to beat Usyk. But I hope he gets the fight. And probably a chance for the Undisputed if they keep the belts. Because then it's a huge payday for him. And he absolutely deserves it now after what he's done and the things he's achieved over the last few fights. But I don't think he beats him. I don't think he gets anywhere near him. For me personally. But when it comes to Parker as well, I think Dubois is the next one. We've got to do Dubois because I would like to see Parker Dubois. I think Parker does beat Dubois. But after them both losing the way they have, I think that fight would still absolutely sell out Wembley and stuff. That'd be an amazing fight. So yeah, I think Parker against Dubois would be my next thing. And they're all under the same stable, so it'd be easy to make. And it'd still keep them high in the rankings. And for Wardley, he's going to have a shot against Usyk. But what do we think is going to happen there, guys? Let me know your thoughts. Like I said, it was a really good fight. I liked it. It went kind of the way I was thinking it was going to go until that final bit. I think the ref jumped the gun too soon. What do you guys think? And where do you think they go now? Where do you think Parker goes? And do you think Wardley gets probably the most unexpected of opportunities against the undisputed champion Usyk? And how does he do against Usyk? Let me know your thoughts, guys. Please do not forget to like, comment and subscribe. And I'll see you on the other one. Take care. Bye.